Hi, my name is Adrienne Tabag with ID8 TV, and I'm sitting here with Joe Dante. And you may not recognize him, but he worked behind the scenes of a very popular cult classic, Gremlins. So it's very nice to sit here with you as a legendary artist and director. How are things going with you today?
I'm a legend in my own mind, I think. I'm here at the Hollywood Horror Museum booth because they are starting a horror museum with artifacts and props and stuff that because it's a genre that's kind of undervalued, I think. People don't take it seriously, haven't really taken it that seriously over the years, and now there's an attempt to gather together a lot of professional people who make these kind of movies and put together something that people can walk through with their kids and just sort of learn about the history of it. And it's one of the most popular genres. It's displaced the Western. It's displaced all of the things that we used to see when we were kids. But horror movies always have a place, and they're one of the staples. So we're not trying to legitimize them because I think they're fairly legit by now. But I think it's an informational thing, and plus they're a lot of fun.
Joe, what were some of the things that you were influenced by, or some of the movies or books that influenced you to get here?
Well, I'm a child of the 1950s, and so I grew up in watching giant irradiated mutant monsters laying waste to cities. The classic horror period was over by the time I started going to the movies, and so movies like them and Tarantula and The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms were the kind of movies that I saw when I was a kid, and they were very influential. Of course, they don't make those kind of movies anymore, really, but they did create a generation of what are called monster kids who grew up on these movies in theaters, and then later the 1930s horror movies on television, and became the backbone of the fan base that now is, I think, the main component of the actual motion picture audience today.
Yeah, you can't forget the classics. Do you have any advice for anybody or any budding directors or artists now in this day and age?
Well, people used to ask me, how did you get started? And I would tell them my story, but it's completely irrelevant now because the business has changed to the point where none of the ways I got in really exist anymore. But what does exist is the ability to make your own movie. You can get together with your friends, you can get a camera, you can get an editing machine, you can get your friends to do the music, and you can actually make a short film or a feature film and finish it. And then, of course, the problem is who do you get to see it?
Right.
Then that's where the internet comes in.
Yeah.
And also film festivals. If you can get your film into a film festival and it can get an award or get some attention, you might get a chance to be seen. But what it mainly gives you is a chance to practice, a chance to learn how you're doing things, make mistakes, do things wrong that you can then learn from and not have to do over. It's a wonderful period to want to be a filmmaker because you really actually can go out and make a film, which we never could do.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
Well, there was the film and the lab and the costs and the mixing and it was a photochemical situation that you just didn't have access to. Right. But now with digital, anybody can make a film of anything, and it can look pretty darn good.
Yeah, on cell phones.
Yes.
It's pretty crazy. Joe, thank you so much for taking your time out of the day.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. Signing out, Adrienne from ID8 TV.